Are you listening? Nurse Pass. Beast mode. Grind.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Brad back with another video. And what I wanted to do in this video is I wanted to sort of revisit an old series of videos, if you will, that I've done in the past, sort of talking about how the concept of how good grades don't make good nurses. Just because you maybe have test anxiety, perhaps you underperformed in nursing school, but you still became a nurse. The biggest, most important thing is that you understand the knowledge that you're learning so that you can best take care of your future patient. That matters more than the grade on the paper. And that's true. That is what's most important. However, I want to revisit those old video topic ideas in light of the fact now that I'm on the road back to nurse anesthesia school. I say back like I used to be there. I'm on the road finally to nurse anesthesia school is what I should say. And I recently got my CCRN. I made a video, or I made a little post about that. So yay for that. And I've applied to 4 different bachelor's programs. So I'm on the road to get my RN to BSN. I hope to begin that in fall of 24, knock that out 12 months straight and be done, at the end of spring of 25. And because I'm doing that and I'm now looking ahead at nurse anesthesia school more intently, it brings up my undergraduate performance, and I have to take a look at these things. And you have to understand that, yes, what is most important in your undergraduate studies is understanding the knowledge so that you can take care of your future patient. However, whenever you start thinking about graduate level of schools, grades do matter. And grades are very, very important, especially in nurse anesthesia school, where getting into these programs can be so ultra competitive. It's for a good reason, but it's very competitive. And so a lot of these schools will take a look at your cumulative GPA. Some will take a look at your science and math GPA separately. It just depends on what type of program specifically that you're applying to. And so I want to talk about my undergraduate performance, specifically my freshman year of college, because that's where I bombed out. And I made a video prior about how I went into academic probation and I lost my financial aid and bombed out of college. And essentially what happened for me is in my first semester of first semester, freshman year period of undergraduate studies, prerequisites, if you will, I did well. I got A's and B's in a couple of the classes that I took. But come second semester of freshman year, I just really lost all focus. I was partying way too much. I'm in school on financial aid for free, and I am just very immaturely, it's crazy looking back at it now, like having my registered nurse license, having an undergraduate degree already, and looking at how horribly I squandered the opportunity that I had. And now how it's coming back to bite me in the rear end. And so essentially in that second semester, I wasn't going to class. Some of these classes, I wasn't taking tests. I essentially took a total of, I believe it was 16 credit hours that semester. And I got F's in 3 different classes, totaling 12 credit hours. So out of the 16 credit hours I took that semester, I only finished that semester with 4 credit hours. I got F's in geology. Why was I taking a geology? I have no idea. I had no direction at all. And that's one of the components, being very young and having 0 direction and being in school for free. It's like, hey, I'm just here living that college experience. That was definitely a component as well. But these class selections, I don't know what I was thinking. 0 direction. Geology, got an F. Somehow got a C in the lab for geology though. I don't know what I was thinking. I really wish I could be a fly on the wall back then and just, what compelled you to not go to class at all, get F's in geology, not take any of the tests, but to still get up and go to campus to attend the lab? What were you doing? Somehow got a C in the lab. F in geology, F in a 6 credit hour liberal studies writing class. And then the last F I got was in dance. That's the craziest one of them all. You would have thought, my boy, you would have thought my counselor, the academic counselor would have been like, hey, my man, you might just, that class, why are you taking it? Nobody looked out for me, and I somehow took the dance class and I got an F in that too. And so really silly, really crazy looking back on it. And it is insanely negatively affecting my undergraduate GPA. If I got rid of those 3 classes entirely, just those blemishes from the record, if I would have just withdrawn from them. So anyways, that's just something that I want to instill in you. If for some reason you're in the undergraduate phase, hey, you should really be taking these things seriously. But I'd love it if you have experienced something like this before where you did poorly in your undergraduate. Leave it down in the comments about how you rectified things and turned it around. Specifically, if you were somebody who tried to pursue anesthesia, I would love to hear that. But yes, so it also makes me wonder, these are things that I'm now inquiring about as I'm reaching out to program directors and also talking to other anesthesia cohort that I know personally. It makes me wonder if my geology class is going to be counted as a science class and therefore affect my science GPA. If it were not affecting my science GPA, then my science GPA is looking pretty darn rock solid. But that is, like I said, just a negative blemish on my record. And I'm not trying to throw any shade at the geology community out there, all right, about you not being a real science or anything. I'm just saying I don't know how various anesthesia programs will look at that class in particular. But hopefully, ultimately, they'll understand that I got an F in dance. All right, I got a C in the lab for geology. Hopefully, they just understand that I was just a knucklehead, an absolute knucklehead, and that my most recent academic performance will, more accurately represent what kind of student that I am. And again, also, as I'm reaching out to these directors and fellow anesthesia, and please let me know what your recommendation might be down in the comments below about whether I should be going back and retaking some of these courses to undo the blemish, hopefully, and boost up the GPA, or if it might behoove me to instead take graduate level courses that might better reflect my ability to handle the workload of a graduate level program. That's where I'm currently at. And I just felt like I would record this little blip in history of my journey, as I have been doing since the beginning of this channel, which, by the way, fun fact, in September of this year, it will mark 10 years since I created this channel. And approximately 10 years since I began my journey in undergraduate Associates of Nursing program. So here we are, all this time later, finally on the road to anesthesia. It feels good, and I can't wait to see what the future holds. God be willing, we will get there.